Hi, I'm Daria Chris, and this is the School of Public Policy. We know in Alberta that oil and gas is one of the most important industries that we have. But we are not the only place in the world, and not even in North America, that lives on oil and gas investment. So whenever we make policy choices, we should keep in mind whether they will make our province more or less attractive to potential investors. There are plenty of policies that impact investment in oil and gas that firms need to keep track of, but one of the most important is the fiscal policy, how much firms actually have to pay in taxes when they decide to invest in oil and gas. Different jurisdictions have different names for these taxes. In Alberta, we call them the royalty regime, and the royalty regime in our province has changed quite a few times in the past decades. The most recent royalty change came just in April of this year. The NDP government promised to do a royalty review, and they actually did it. My co-author Jack Mintz and I decided to study this royalty regime change through an instrument that we use and we call MITR, the Marginal Effective Tax Rate. In very simple terms, the marginal effective tax rate measures how much of the rate of return a firm earns, or the marginal investment, the investment that barely covers its cost, how much of this rate of return goes towards paying taxes and royalties. This is an important issue to study because it's a big element in a firm's analysis whether to invest or not in a certain place. To our surprise, we found that the meter on marginal investment for conventional oil in Alberta actually dropped quite significantly following the royalty review that was finished last year. In fact, given the new royalty regime, Alberta is today a more rewarding place to invest than it was just last year. Our composite measure, the meter, dropped from 35% under the old regime to less than 27% under the new regime. We are now more competitive than a host of number of US states, and we are definitely more competitive than we were in the past for conventional oil. This advantage, however, does not apply to the oil sands. There were no significant changes in the royalty regime for the oil sands, and in fact, the industry has to face the increased corporate income tax from 10 to 12%. So we do find out that the marginal effective tax rate on oil sands actually increased a little bit, but we do still have a significant advantage for conventional oil. We cannot say that this will necessarily attract new investment, or not necessarily in the short run, because the prices are still severely depressed, and carbon tax is still an impact that we haven't been able to measure with our model. This requires a different type of model, which we are working on. But at least on the fiscal side, things look more promising than they did even half a year ago. So we commend the government for doing a very good job with the royalty review, and we would caution them to consider very carefully the other policies that may impact the oil and gas industry in order to maintain the competitive advantage that Alberta has at this moment. I'm Daria Chris, and this is the School of Public Policy. Thank you for watching.